Hi, welcome to Muscle Building Shorts. In today's video, we're going to be examining the hammer curl, what makes a hammer curl, and what are the benefits from them. Now, first of all, when you think about a hammer, think about how you use a hammer. You don't use a hammer like this, nor do you use a hammer like this. You use a hammer with your hand in a neutral position in line with the body. This is pronated, this is supinated, this is neutral, thus how you use a hammer. For a hammer curl, it's exactly the same way. You don't have your hand pronated, you don't have your hand supinated. It's in a neutral position and it's up and down like you're using a hammer. Now, quite often the hammer curl gets looped into this category of bicep curl. But technically speaking, it's really not an optimal bicep curl. To have an optimal bicep curl, you have to have supination, because that is the main function of the bicep. If we take a look at the bicep, when it's hands in neutral position, there's no real engagement. But as soon as I supinate, you can see the bicep gets engaged. When you're doing a hammer curls, what is actually happening? Well, yes, there is some bicep recruitment, but what happens is two other muscles are being greatly involved here. And that's the brachioradialis, which is a muscle that goes over, crosses over the elbow and into the forearm, as well as the brachialis, which is the muscle that sits just underneath the bicep. Now, if you put your hand in a neutral position and then flex, whether you're holding a dumbbell or not, you're going to notice that this muscle that crosses over here gets greatly engaged. That's why hammer curls are great for building up forearms, at least the outer side of the forearm. But what about this brachialis, this muscle that's sitting underneath the bicep? Well, this is the reason why hammer curls should definitely be involved in your bicep training. So think of it like this. You can build up your biceps by doing supinated curls or supinated chin-ups, and you can build a big, nice hard ball, like a baseball. But think about this. The hammer curl, since it engages the muscle that's below the bicep, if that gets larger, it's going to prop up that bicep, putting it on display. Think of it as a baseball lying in a field of grass. Okay, you can recognize what it is. Now think about that same baseball being put on display. Dun, 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 dun. Exactly. Hopefully you get the point. So now that we know the benefits of hammer grip style curls, let's take a look at several of the exercises that you can perform to engage the brachialis and the brachioradialis using a neutral grip. First of all, there's the standard hammer curl, which is simply like this. Hands in neutral position, full range of motion, going all the way down to the bottom, squeeze at the top. Some may have a tricep bar at home. So this is the hammer style grip curl using the tricep bar. It can also be beneficial to add an exercise that emphasizes the stretch down at the bottom of the movement. That overemphasis on the stretch can create what they call microtrauma. Microtrauma will promote muscle repair and hopefully adaptation by building up the muscle even more. And this is how we're going to do an incline curl. At the bottom of the movement, the arms not only go down, but they stretch behind the body. So kind of opposite to the incline hammer curl, which emphasizes the stretch on the muscle down at the bottom, we're going to be doing the spider hammer grip curl, which more emphasizes the contraction. With the arms are straight down here, head forward, squeeze at the top, squeeze. Because we now know what defines a hammer grip or a neutral grip curl, we can transfer that over to other exercises that we do all the time that we're probably not even thinking about as being a hammer grip motion, such as a bent over one arm dumbbell row. Yes, it's working the lats. Yes, you're trying to emphasize or make the mind muscle connection of using your lats to pull your arm back. But the spillover is going to go towards the brachialis and the brachioradialis, more so than the biceps, unless you did a bent over dumbbell row supinated. But we don't do that, do we? We usually do it just like this. That goes the same for any kind of chin up, where we're doing a neutral grip, where we're pulling ourselves up with the hands facing each other, or an inverted row, let's say using a set of parallettes, where we're pulling ourselves up from the ground up. Again, with the hammer grip, hands facing each other. So lastly, I'd like to emphasize that you can work on progressively overloading these muscles by incorporating weighted inverted rows as well as weighted neutral grip or hammer grip chin-ups.